everybody. Welcome to I Can Fix Your Movie.
Hello.
Hello, everybody out there
Howdy,
in the
y'all.
world. That's the Oklahoma coming out. Yeah. Howdy, everybody.
Howdy.
Yes. Welcome to episode 15.
Welcome.
It's coming. It's happening just weekly now. Every week we're spitting
Now.
these out. Now it is. Not before. No, it is. It is. It's been happening every week.
It's kind of
Yeah.
what we said.
That's our thing. That's our jam.
Yep.
This week, I can already feel and hear complaining because of the one we're gonna do. We're gonna do one I feel that people really, really like.
Yeah, I mean, I like this movie.
I really like this movie too. And watching it again later, I still liked it. And then watching it recently, I still really liked it.
Yeah, it's a fun movie.
But anytime you try to fix something, people are like, "It's not broken. Don't fix it. Leave it alone. What's wrong with you? You're a moron."
Just because something is
Yeah.
good and entertaining and likable doesn't mean that there's
Yeah.
not things that could make it even
Right.
better.
Exactly. I mean, there are little fixes here and there with the greatest of movies. Like,
Sure.
the guy in Star Wars bonked his head. That was weird. You know what I mean? There's things that happen.
There are things. There's always things.
There's always things.
Yeah.
So we're not trying to hate on this movie at all.
No.
We really like this movie. However, there's some things that I think, that it could make it a little bit better, a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the film Sky High. Now,
Remember the days, guys.
Remember back in the day. This was not like. Thing is, I don't think it was that well received. I don't think it did that well coming out.
Right. It's a very campy, cheesy movie,
Yeah.
which I feel like a lot of people associated with maybe bad,
Yeah,
but it's supposed to be.
it's definitely supposed to be.
That's the charm of it.
Yeah, it kind of follows this like 1920s, 1930s style of thinking when you're talking about heroes.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, the good guys are good and the bad guys are bad. And that's it. And that's the way it's going to be.
Right.
And their moral system is, when the big robot attacks, then that's, they weren't trying to get too deep
No.
in anything at all.
Right. This was not a psychological thriller.
No.
In any way.
Yeah, you're not going to be like, man, everybody be quiet because we need to really zone in. Because if you don't get the themes here, it's not one of those kind of films.
Right. Inception, it is not.
That's right.
But it is, I mean, it's cute. It's charming.
It's a romp is what it is.
It's clean.
It's a romp.
It's a family movie.
Yeah,
It's something you can sit down with your kids and watch, and they'll enjoy it. You'll get some of the jokes, too.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah. It's a very, very fun film. So, yeah, like I said, I feel like people are going to be angry that we're doing this one.
People who love it, yeah.
People that really love this one are going to be, because they're like, rah. But, again, Sky High, I watched it in the theaters with my kids. And I was like, fun, right? And they completely forgot about it later in life. But I remembered it. I remembered this one. And I thought we might take a stab at it and, help it be a little bit better. I'd love to see it, redone or, or extended or whatever.
Yeah.
I think I remember hearing something about them looking at an episodic where they were doing something with this.
Yeah, it would make a great television show, I think.
Yeah.
So
the people who own the rights, give me a call. I can help make that happen. I would love to help write that. So let's jump into the quick summary.
Yeah.
And then we'll go back of kind of what we liked and, things that could be worked better. Okay.
Yeah.
So Sky High, it's a floating high school.
Right.
Right. Because it was said that it always has to stay on the move because enemies would love to destroy it, which I think is just a silly thing to say. I mean, I think that like they did that because in Marvel they have, the floating battle
base.
station. Yeah. That they use in that. I think that's kind of the idea.
Right.
That they were trying to do that with. But whatever. I mean, a floating base is not super original or anything, but That's their high school.
Right. And it's just super cool.
It's super fun. That's
it's cool to have a
name.
high school that's
Sky High.
floats.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it follows the story of Will Stronghold. And he's a 14. I'm going to put it in quotes because that dude did not look like a 14-year-old. Anytime it feels like he's 14. Of course, we watching 90210, we're like, they're in high school. Those kids were like 30.
Oh, yeah.
They were so old. But we believed it totally.
TV and film high school is nothing
so
like
different.
real life high school.
But he's supposed to be 14. Haha, sure. But he's the son of the two greatest heroes that the world has ever seen. The Commander.
His dad.
And Jetstream.
His mom.
And he enrolls, of course, in high school, Sky High. And the high school is designed to train the next generation of heroes. But the plot twist problem here is, Will, he does not have his powers yet.
Yep.
And he's like, oh, no, what am I going to do? And so he's been kind of lying to his dad a little bit,
right.
like, setting down big, like he's pretending he's working out with these gigantic weights and like 200. Oh, dad.
Right.
When
he's hiding it from his parents.
Yeah, he just doesn't know how to tell them because they are the most renowned heroes that save the day, all the time. And he doesn't want to let them down. So in this school, like day one,
Yep.
they are taken to the gym and they are split up between heroes and sidekicks. The heroes are the top tier powered people.
Yeah.
And the sidekicks are the ones that have powers that are like deemed less.
Right.
Which
not such great powers.
Yeah, like literally glowing. I have a neon glow. I'm like a neon glow stick.
Right.
That's what I can do. And you're like,
right.
Okay, doesn't seem that helpful.
Right.
Okay, but
and
cool.
And they go through different like study courses, but also this creates
an issue.
Classes.
A class system of the heroes are better.
Cliques, basically.
Yeah, the heroes are better. So like high school.
Yeah.
High school.
Like high school. Like high school. Exactly.
But the heroes are better. They have, a more interesting training, a more rigorous type thing. And the hero stuff is like, the teacher had written, blank, blank, holy blank, blank, man.
You mean the sidekick?
The sidekick things. Yeah. So they're trained like how to yell out things like, holy bat repellent, Batman, or like, you know what I mean? Whatever he's supposed to say.
Right.
To add to the hero, right? And
right.
even said, it was asked, when do we pick our colors and our name, our hero name? And the teacher's like, no, the hero picks that for you.
Right, once you're
paired up. So really, you're just kind of like the indentured servant of the hero.
Right,
once
and
you're
they're called hero support, which is pretty cute.
Yeah, because I guess they didn't like, it's kind of like, sidekick. And like, let's make it sound a little bit better because you're kicking them and they're on your side. And let's hero support. That sounds better. That's what it sounds like. Somebody got to the point that they had to do that. So, yeah. So they're hero support. And when Will completely fails in this because he has no powers, he's put into hero support. Right.
He's designated sidekick.
Designated sidekick. And he starts learning, how to be a sidekick and how to, hand his hero the weapons and whatever, right?
Yeah.
And he also has an arch nemesis in the school.
Right. Just
because
just so happens
to be an arch nemesis built into the school. Day one, he shows up, and it is Warren Peace.
Warren's dad was a villain.
A bad guy that
and
Will's
he was
dad,
defeated by Will's dad,
right,
the commander.
Put him into like 3 life sentences.
So Warren has it out for Will immediately
because he put his dad away. His father put his dad away, and so he's trying to struggle also with figuring out who he is, and also relationships because he's got his best friend who she loves him terribly. But he's like enamored by the senior girl that's there, who's taken a liking to him. And, it's being, liked by the cool kids. And how do I deal with this?
Well, once his powers.
Yeah. So eventually,
his
powers do kick in because he's fighting Warren. And his strength shows up. And he starts kicking booty.
Right. And then he's moved up to hero class.
Right.
And then
leaving the sidekick class behind.
the sidekick class, which is now full of all of his friends because he's really gotten to know these guys.
Right.
But he starts, it's all the things. He starts sitting at the cool kids table,
Right.
and he
throws the party without his friends.
Yeah,
and all
gets
that.
into a relationship with this senior girl who's like the most popular girl in school,
Right.
and all of these things.
Right. So he's got to try to navigate all that, and he's struggling to figure out who he is. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also this underlining story, not just of his arch nemesis, but there's this evil creature, Major Pain, I think is what is who it really was.
There's a villain.
There's the villain that's got this master stroke that's about to be laid out. And it turns out in the end that this villain is actually the girl, Gwen, that was the senior that liked him the whole time.
The senior girl that liked him.
Right. And she's going to basically turn everybody into babies.
All the heroes into babies.
And she's got this gun that she's going to do it with, but she had to steal it from Will's dad.
Yeah.
And she used Will to get that gun from
Right.
the commander. And at the end of it, of course, her plans are thwarted because Will's a punching machine.
Mm-hmm.
And he also learns that he doesn't only punch, but he can also fly like his mom.
Right.
That power develops. Luckily. As soon as he's thrown out of a window and plummets to earth, he can also fly. So convenient. It's so convenient.
Yeah.
But in the end, everybody's happy, and it's a comic book ending, right?
Yeah.
And
they defeat Gwen. They turn all of that. Well, the reason she was turning the heroes into babies is so that she could raise them.
Oh, don't say that yet, because that's I'm going to hold on to that one. Hold on to that one. Hold on to the plan.
Okay.
Because I want to say that one in just 1 second, so don't give it away yet. So that's the summary.
Mm-hmm.
That's the summary. What we liked, I have like 3. So, do you have any things that because you might say some of the same things I'm going to say. So
that I liked about it?
Things that you liked.
Yeah, I love how, it's pretty ridiculous, but it's cute. So
It is.
I like the feel-goodness of it. It's like a feel-good film.
Yeah.
It's silly.
I'm going to use the word romp a lot.
It's
a romp.
got a vintage campiness to it, which I like.
Yep.
I like the actors in it. I think.
Yep.
I think they're amazing, and just it's cute. It's entertaining.
Yeah. It's a fun watch.
It is.
It's a fun watch. What I like, number one, the concept I think is fantastic. You've got a superhero high school.
Yeah.
It's instantly fun, right? The world building is cool. Like, got this thing, and they're going to high school to learn their powers. The casting, it was wonderful. Kurt Russell and Kelly Preston are wonderful together. They've got a lot of charm. Cool family dynamic with, each other, like how they play off of each other. Now I'm going to talk a little bit later about, I feel like they were a little bit too similar, but I like them. I thought they did a great job.
Yeah.
I feel that every adult in this film was pretty amazing. Okay. Bruce Campbell as Boomer. He's brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
He's a national gem. I love him. Cloris Leachman as the nurse.
She's so funny.
She is brilliant.
She
brilliant.
basically stole the film, and she's only in it for like 3 minutes.
She is. Her comic timing is. If you watch this film just up until that point and then turn it off, you're good. Like, she's brilliant. She's like, it's just so quirky and fun.
She's great.
Everything she's in is, I just love watching her. Dave Foley, Kevin McDonald, they were from Kids in the Hall. These two amazing actors. They're incredibly funny. Every time I see Dave Foley in something, I'm like, I have to watch it. He's brilliant.
Yeah, he's great.
Even Tom Kenny, he's the voice of SpongeBob. He's in there for like a quick little cameo at the end. They had all these super fun people in this film. And I'm like, oh my gosh. It's a great use of cast.
Absolutely.
And honestly, it looked like they were like, all right, let's get the best people.
Yeah.
Let's get these really wonderful, fantastic people to be in this film. And they did. And it was just wonderful.
Yeah,
Loved
it was good.
Next, I said don't say it because I want to say it here. I feel one of the best supervillain plans I've ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
Her whole plot of what she was going to do was she had a gun called the pacifier.
Yeah.
Which it's a double meaning because a pacifier, something is pacified. It's, you are held and you are put into a place that you aren't able to, you can't move or you can't breach it, right? You're pacified. You're held in, right? But it's also used as a pacifier because the gun actually makes people babies.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'll need a pacifier. It's kind of this fun idea, but the idea was that you're going to be turned into a baby. Then she's going to start her own school with all these superpowered individuals.
Right.
And create a world of superpowered villains that she raised.
Yes.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
It's a pretty clever plan.
Yeah. And then, it's I think just overall just genuinely clever. At its center, what if a hero school existed? What if that really existed? What that would look like?
Yeah.
It's a cool idea. So
yeah, it is a great concept.
Hot take missteps. I've got a couple. I felt that overall, it is campy, and that's part of, sort of an issue. I think it could play on its own, but I think you could have gone completely different. I think the movie, plays it a little bit too safe in certain areas. It sets up this idea of labels and identity, but then I feel it backs away from it and doesn't really fully exploit it and explain it and really dig down deep into it. I think it just becomes this standard teen comedy romp again, instead of something that could have had a little bit more, you could submerge into the story a little bit more. And honestly, here's the deal. And this is a big one for me. This could have been a totally different film. Mm-hmm. Okay. Because if you really were okay, I don't just want to make a one-off kind of silly movie where we get to have a good laugh. What if you did take it a little bit more seriously? Not just I want it to be dramatic. You still have all the comedy, okay? But what if it had been an exploration of look, this is a real high school. These kids are really developing their powers. And it was way more closer to a Harry Potter than the teen romp. That is a franchise.
Right.
Instead of kind of a film that didn't do super great and was discovered later by people and was oh, what a great film.
Right. So the concept of this film, this superheroes, it is kind of similar. You've got this class of people who kind of have to hide their identity and hide their world.
Right.
And, they're going to a school that's very different than a regular school. They're being
displaced.
They're being taught how to be superheroes, not how, math and English and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So I agree with you. I think it's a meaty enough concept.
Yeah.
That it could have been
really, yeah.
If they had decided not to go campy and silly with it.
Yeah.
It could have been a real, a real kind of franchise, like you said,
It could have been a huge cash cow. Let's just say what it is. Yeah. It could be a huge cash cow.
Yeah, I think the concept, had they gone a little bit different direction and sort of made it more relatable and more of this, created this whole world around it.
Now, I'm not saying W.B. Rivendell or anything like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying more Harry Potter. Okay, so you've got the kids.
Yes.
And you're absolutely, you've got a little bit of drama here and there. But the problem is anytime they try to do the drama, with War and Peace, he was this mean, stoic, angry. But then you meet him when he's a busboy and he's like, hey, you doing it?
Yeah, and he's just all...
So, why would he switch like that? Well, if you expanded out the characters...
Right.
You probably would have got that, and his character wouldn't have been so, hot and cold. Right? You know what I mean?
No pun intended.
Yeah, like you follow what I'm saying?
No, I do. I agree with you. I think I think they could have absolutely made this into a legitimate like superhero genre films where they actually took us in,
Sky High 2, Sky High 3.
Yeah, but into like this superhero world where they're actually dealing with real issues,
right?
Real villains
as they're learning their powers. Right. That would have been really cool.
It's like Marvel, but when they were learning,
the beginnings of these powers and how to do it, but also how to deal with real life. I just think it could have been really cool.
Yeah, could have been.
But we're not fixing that film. We're fixing this one in front of us, and we're gonna try to work on those kinds of things. But I'm just gonna propose it. It could have been a little bit different, but
they could have gone down that road.
Yeah,
for sure.
This is the film we're gonna fix, because like I said, that I do think if it had gone down that road, we would have definitely had a different cast, and we would have lost maybe some of the brilliant performances of the people that I just mentioned earlier.
Right. I mean, it was never meant to be anything more than what it is.
Yeah.
We're just saying it could have been.
The
idea would have supported that.
In the reboot, it could be this.
I mean, you could reboot it as like a grittier, more realistic version.
More, grounded. Yeah. I agree. All right, Act 1. Here we go. The world is fun that they live in. But it's never really questioned about these dynamics, okay? So Sky High introduces the caste system of kids are sorted into heroes and sidekicks. And everybody's just like, yep, except for like one girl.
Yeah.
Right?
She's like, I don't like this system.
Yeah. And no one really questions, how messed up it is or at all. It's just her going, I don't like, but the thing is, she doesn't like anything. I mean, no offense, but she kind of already doesn't like, you could tell right at the beginning, she's like, I'm not going to eat. I'm going to fix your recycling. And she had issues with kind of everything.
Yeah.
And so the thing is, by doing that, the film kind of like ignores her. Right? So as she starts, everything she says is white noise.
Yeah.
Because this is the kid that complains.
Well,
right?
Nothing's really up to her standard of what she thinks it should be.
Right. And they're like calling her a hippie girl and blah, blah, blah. And there's nothing wrong with what she was saying. I mean, her mom talks to animals and they're like, I don't like you eating my sister. Okay, this is terrible. So I don't understand. I understand. Totally makes sense. But she says
because everything is an issue that she feels like she has to take up the cause against. Then when there's a real cause, it's almost like it's just another thing that she's
ignored because she makes everything an issue, and when she makes this an issue,
right,
it's not a big deal. So for a fix, I think you make the system kind of a little bit more controversial from the beginning.
Right.
I think some students have a problem with it. I think some teachers have an issue with it.
Yeah.
And they're talking about the stuff. I think the the sidekick teachers like, I mentioned it, but I'm just one person and I don't, you know what I mean?
Right.
Dave could have played that. Dave's a great actor. He could have pulled that off.
Sure.
Right? So that you can show being labeled as the sidekick honestly can ruin your future before it even really begins.
Right.
And then it isn't like this quirky, silly, campy thing. The school has some flaws.
Right.
Right? And you can explore that then as a writer and in the story. Next, Will's lack of powers was super convenient.
Yeah.
We've got to kind of MacGuffin this along. Oh, he doesn't have his powers yet. Oh, what am I going to do? So I think, and then whenever he gets his powers, it's pretty early on.
It is. We don't deal with that, that anxious waiting for very long.
No, it's a temporary inconvenience, honestly.
I mean, it's really just a way to get him into the sidekick class.
The sidekick classes, that's right.
Right.
But we never really see him being kind of tortured into this and like, oh God, what am I going to do? It's just like, I don't know.
Right.
It's just, again, it's inconvenience.
Yeah.
So for a fix, lean into the idea that Will never get his powers.
Right.
Make him genuinely consider building a life as a sidekick. Right?
Yeah. I think they needed to hold out longer for sure.
Right. But because we see one tiny music montage of them learning things, and that's it.
Right, and it's
the rope and the
grappling hook
thing,
and
they study, but like, I think he's got to take it really seriously again, because they're like, I've got to lean into this. I need to learn how to look. I'm going to make my parents proud by being the best that I can do. I don't have powers, but I can do this.
Right. So he's kind of starts relying on other things.
Yeah. He develops skills, strategies, leadership.
Right. And it's not just, I don't have powers, so I kind of have to settle for these friends.
Right.
It's now about, I have to actually develop other things about me.
Right. Could you imagine like doing the citizen saving, what was that called?
Save the Citizen.
Save the Citizen. And he had no powers at all, and he did it anyway.
He figured out
how to do it.
Right.
To make, and give him like the slippy guy. Like, like he figured out how to stop it, and he had no powers at all. And people are like,
wow.
Whoa. Because he's using strategy, and he's using, being a strong leader, and he doesn't have to have powers to do it.
Right.
That'd have been cool.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So eventually when they do show up, then he's got this question of like, now I've got these powers, and how does that work into who I am,
right, because he's built kind of an identity now around not having them.
Right.
He's decided that he's okay with it.
Yeah.
He's developed into just kind of a natural leader anyway. Right. And then when he gets his powers, it's almost like, do I trade all of this stuff that I've learned with that?
Because he's been told it's one or the other.
Right.
And he's like, I don't know how to fix that. So we'll talk in the end about how that could merge.
Mm-hmm.
Foreshadowing, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm foreshadowing. But like that's would have made it to me more interesting.
Right.
Next, the parents. They are super perfect. They really are. Will's parents are legendary heroes, but they're almost a little bit cartoonishly perfect.
On purpose, I think.
On purpose, yes. But there's no real tension in the family. There's no real tension between them. Basically, they could have been the same person. Yeah. It could have been, we lost your mom a long time ago, and you know what I mean? Because they're the same basic principle. They believe the same basic things.
Right.
So for a fix, I think you add some pressure and make it a little bit more interesting, because maybe Dad, the commander, he secretly believes that the powers are what defines him. But then Mom could be, maybe she's a little bit more character driven, and she's a little bit more like character over ability.
Yeah, powers are great.
Exactly.
Sweetheart, but
right. And then he's kind of caught between, who do I listen to? My dad, I want to make him proud, but Mom, she makes some good points, and it could have been this interesting internal conflict that he would have to also deal with. Again, I'm just talking about some things that could just add a little bit of layer, right?
Sure.
A little texture on the wall.
We don't want to make the movie
like this
super
deep,
complex,
conflicting kind of thing. But
we're not talking about conflict between the parents necessarily.
Yeah,
we're just talking about
right.
this. I mean, it kind of goes hand in hand with the fact that, he's already maybe convinced that he's not going to get powers.
Right.
And so he has a voice in his mom then that's speaking to him,
right.
That's encouraging him that's okay.
And that's cool. And he's trying to learn, what do I do now? And then whenever he gets the powers, then he's back on it. His dad is all super happy about it, but also like, but do I turn my back on everything I've learned?
Right.
Which is what Mom was saying. So it would have been kind of, they were echoing basically the shoulder, the angel and the devil on the shoulder of like, hey, think about this. Hey, think about this.
Right.
And it could have just been mirroring what he's already thinking and trying to figure out. That's what I'm trying to say. Act 2, the sidekick hero divide actually never, in my opinion, never really pays off. The movie sets up this class system,
right,
but never fully explores its consequences. The sidekicks are treated as jokes instead of, people with potential. Right. So I think you kind of flip the dynamic through the film. So this is the fix for it.
Yeah.
You show the sidekicks that are actually the backbone of the hero work. They're not the joke. They strategize. They build the tech. They save the missions behind the scenes. And the heroes rely too heavily on their powers, which makes them reckless.
Okay.
And they make mistakes. So the divide is like not just like the silly goofy,
not just the cool kids and the nerds.
Right. It's these guys really do amazing work, and you see it.
Right.
Not just being like holy whatever Batman. You know what I mean? They actually do real good stuff, good work. So I think that you have to show them doing that so that later on,
when they actually come into play and are needed.
Yeah, it's not just like we happen to be in a dark, air duct.
And we need
you to glow, and then we need you to go down a tiny pipe because there's no way to access it. Right. Because then
we show that they actually have value because they study hard. They
work hard, yeah.
They know the ins and outs.
Yeah, because the thing is, at the end of this film, they have to get to this thing to like turn back on the anti-grav so it doesn't crash into the earth.
Right.
And probably it could have destroyed it.
Right.
I mean, you drop something that big from that kind of height.
Yeah.
It could have not just destroyed. It could have destroyed, like, blown up a whole continent.
Right.
But they pull out a blueprint from where?
Yeah. They just happen to have a blueprint of the school.
Yeah. It should have been. Look, we've already done. We know exactly how to do this. Look here.
Right. We're the ones that installed this security system.
Exactly.
We're the ones that have been putting all of this into practice behind the scenes,
right? And how
to support
and how to assemble it and how to we know
to support our heroes. We're the gadget people. We're the
we're the tech, and we can do all this stuff. We're the people in the chair.
Yeah, and so then they actually are needed and necessary.
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, the next one. Steal. Okay, so stealing the pacifier was a big plot point in this film.
It's literally the entire reason that this girl,
Gwen, gets to know Will.
gets in a relationship with him.
So she can have a party at his house.
So that she can distract him and then steal the pacifier.
Sneak into the sanctum.
Right.
The secret sanctum. I feel like I'm doing a...
Secret
You have to sneak into the sneaker sanctum, and then he's got to steal it.
That is a tongue twister.
Sneak into the sneaker sanctum and steal this pacifier.
Sneak into
the secret sanctum
to steal
the
pacifier.
pacifier.
Say that 10 times fast, folks.
No, thank you. But it was confusing. Why? Why, you might ask? Why?
Because she's a techno...
You're supposed to just say why, but
why?
that's okay. Well, yeah, because you're right. She's a technopath. She could just build another one.
She, controls technology.
Yeah.
And can, create things.
Wave her hand over it and create another. Why are you stealing? There's no need to do it. You could have remade
another one.
Easily.
Very easily.
So, for the fix, she wasn't after the weapon. She was after the power source.
Okay.
Boom.
Yeah.
The power source that Mr. Medulla, the guy with the big head,
so funny,
had been muttering about in class about. It's like, what are you working on? It's a power source. I lost it 18 years ago. Blah blah blah. But I'm gonna make it again. It's around here somewhere probably. But everything's up here. But sometimes the path is right.
Right.
He's muttering about something. Well, she stole that power source. Gwen stole it 18 years ago.
Yeah.
And he didn't know where it's at. Well, it's in that thing. No one knew that.
Right. It's in the pacifier.
Right.
She has to get the pacifier for the power source.
Not because she needed to fix the gun.
Not for the gun itself.
She could fix the gun by waving her hand over some junk pieces in the junkyard. So that's the issue. It's a little point, but it's actually kind of that's a plot hole. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Act 3. Will's power reveal kind of undercuts the themes in the film.
Yeah. He
suddenly gets super strength and flight, and then reinforces that message that heroes
really are the best.
Are the best, and the sidekicks are not, by punching his way through every problem in the entire film.
Right. So they set up this conflict that, why aren't sidekicks valued more? And then goes to prove why by just literally using his strength and his flight to solve every problem.
Right. So I've got a big fix. This is kind of a bigger one. I think it's kind of a cool one. Make his powers fail in Act 3.
Like in the climax.
In the climax of the things, and
during the big battle,
he's facing. Is it Major Payne?
Royal
Payne. Major Payne is a different film completely. Major Payne is a hilarious romp into ROTC kids.
Man, you are loving that word tonight.
I know. I've used romp. I said I was going to use it a lot.
You did warn us.
I did. I warned you. I have no regrets. So in this romp, Gwen is what now I'm saying again, Royal Payne. I was trying to remember.
Oh, sorry.
Right. Royal Payne is fighting Will here at the very end. She makes his powers fail. Because if you remember back in the detention room, none of the powers work.
Right.
She invented that. Forever ago for the detention room.
Yeah.
She uses that, nullifies his powers. What's Will going to do now? Oh, I know. He's forced to rely on what he learned as a sidekick. And reinforce his identity and realizes, ta-da, you use both.
Right.
You use both things. You don't have to be one or the other. You can be strategic. You don't just have to punch your way through like good old dad. Right? You can be your own man. You can figure things out. You don't have to cause collateral damage. Okay? You don't have to pick up a building and throw it at the robot.
Right. Even if he has to use like his cunning.
Right.
And everything that he's learned to even like deactivate the
pacifier?
The detention room that she's using so that he can get his powers back. But in order to deactivate that, to get his powers to defeat her, he has to use the skills that he learned as a sidekick.
And boom. Then we reinforce everything that we've been trying to say from the beginning of the film in one fell swoop. Boom.
Yep.
We did it. Okay?
Yep.
Next, at the end, the social system of the school doesn't really change.
No.
Not really.
No.
I mean, they save the day, and he goes, "Oh, you're real heroes." That's it.
Right. To those like four kids.
4 people. Right.
So, yeah, the commander
hands him
trophy, a trophy that he was going to win for
hero of the
year, and then the mom's like, "Let's call them what they really are,
heroes." Right. But that's it. Well, those 4 people heard that. No, but yeah, you know what I mean?
Right, but we don't see that the school changes their system at all.
Right. So, for the fix, the ending should have been dismantling the hero-sidekick divide.
Yeah.
Completely. Sky High restructures itself so that students are... And it could just be a simple thing that the principal says.
Right.
This has got to change, And then the teacher that was his sidekicks, she's like, I think you're going to be vice principal and you're going to come and help me reform this, so that the students are then based and they're trained on their potential of what they can do. Right.
And they're paired up with people.
Yeah. But they're not labeled into one or the other.
Right.
But they're paired up by how well they work together.
By how well their skills complement each other.
That's right. And the message then is very clear that everyone has intrinsic value here, which they do.
Sure.
And it's not determined on day one. Right?
By the gym coach.
Right.
Yeah.
Lastly, we are already at the end.
Yeah.
Man, this one flew by. I can see what I...
Yep.
Okay. All right.
I got it.
Will's arc resolves too cleanly, too.
Yeah.
It's,
he buttons things up pretty good.
Pretty clean, and then he's kissing the girl outside the window as he's flying, and the end.
The end.
And he's a fully realized hero, but his journey is just, wrapped up in a little bow. But again, it's wrapped up in a bow because his powers kicked in. Right. So I think he's got to end with this thing where he's embraced both sides. He realizes it, and he has that little discussion with his new girlfriend. And, he's the powered hero, but he's also the thinker now. And he knows that he can do whatever. And his parents are like, you are the best of us because you got both of our powers, but you've also learned, how to be that other side.
Right.
Because it's more than just punching your way through problems. Right. It's actually understanding people and connecting to them and understanding and thinking your way through too.
Right. Problem solving.
And so that's That's it. And I think so. To wrap up, I think if we wanted to do a different version or a reboot, then maybe opening it up to this other possibility of making it a little bit more grounded and a little bit more like, learning how to be a hero.
Yeah.
And also how, traversing the halls of teenage life.
Yeah.
It could have been really intriguing and it could have been really cool to watch. I think that would have been really fun.
Yeah.
But even without it, I think these fixes would have cleaned it up and made it even a funnier romp.
Goodness.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I agree with you. I think that I think that the fixes definitely would have given it a little bit more meaning.
Yeah.
I think it would have been more well-rounded as a film, not just silly.
Right. And it wouldn't have been, to me...
Not just campy.
Yeah.
But actually endearing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think if you'd had those fixes, again, not changing the premise of it, like I said at the very beginning, but just doing the fixes that we suggested.
Right.
Then it wouldn't have been dismissed.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened with a lot of these things. Like, oh, it's just a silly little kid movie. Right. And they dismissed it when it's like, no, it's actually a really good film. Yeah. You got to see this.
Could have been inspiring.
Yeah, it could have been inspiring people. And like they could see themselves in it. Because that's why people love the superhero stuff. Because they're like, man.
Right.
I mean, every person on the planet sees themselves as the underdogs, right?
Sure.
And you see these people struggling and doing these things even whenever they have powers. They don't just overcome everything. They're still struggling and going like they're seeing their struggles through them.
Right.
And it's just kind of that allegory of, oh, okay. Oh, I see. I'm struggling with this. They're struggling with this.
Right.
Oh, I get it. Okay. So it could have added that layer, which would have made it, I feel, a little bit more enduring of a film.
I totally agree. There could have been some great fixes. At the end of the day, though, we'll probably watch this film again. Yeah. And enjoy it the next time we see it.
Yep. It's because the performance is as the silly kind of campy film.
For what it is.
It's very funny. In my opinion, what I would suggest is this, okay? If you're going to watch this film, don't watch it with a bunch of people that have their arms folded. Watch it with people that like really want to have a good time and just relax. And when and I would suggest watching it with people, like several people in the room that are just going to laugh and have fun, because it starts becoming infectious, this film. And you start laughing and just having a good time with it. So that's my suggestion.
Definitely.
But, take it however you want to take that. So,
okay.
All right. So that's all we got, kids. You guys, thanks again for listening and plugging in, and just, you guys, we love you. Keep downloading it, sharing it. We love doing these, and we want to keep bringing them to you. So get it out there to folks and share it with as many people as you can.
Sounds great. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye, everybody.